What is up, guys? Today I am going to bring you a replay review of my own offlane Mars game. This is just a good game that I played, and I wanted to bring this game to you because I haven't made a lot of offlane content recently, so for you offlane enjoyers out there, we will take a look at this. This was 7.32A or whatever. This was before the Mars nerfs and the Soul Ring extra cost and all that, but it's 7.32, so it was not too long ago. So I'll just walk you through my thoughts on the game against a PA in lane, and what ends up being a Rubik. So nice to start the Ring of Protection going for the Soul Ring and the stick. This is a little greedy with the stats, but it gives you 4 armor, which is really nice, and I'll fly out tangos right away. And it gives you really nice stats against the PA. I guess that's all there is to say about that. So the Mirana plays it well. This is I think this is the real demon, so we have pretty good trade potential. It's like actually can snap, but the Mirana trades really well on the side, and I feel like I CS pretty well against this guy, which kind of surprised me because he's like rank 60, but. And then there's me missing free CS. So Fly to South is my first item after the first tangos. Really important to keep yourself up on regen. Like, they can't consistently trade all the time. I'm using the spear there just to get him off me. And we actually get first blood off of it, which is huge. And what matters a lot is that this salve is coming out. Like, none of this stuff matters. Or not, it doesn't matter. But, like, if I don't have a salve coming out and this PA comes back to lane and he's full HP and I'm not, life is hard. But because I have this salve coming out, and my Mirana gives me a tango, like, this is, like, really good. And so it's really important to, like, make sure you, like, have that extra regen. Don't feel bad about, like, overbuying regen or whatever. Just make sure you get it. As you can see, I'm rushing the chainmail part of the phase boots, just because it's the best item against the PA. I just want to be able to, like, trade and not take a ton of harass damage here. Kind of a weird spear there, but ends up working out. Pretty much only want to spear when you're going for kill attempts, especially like after like the first wave or two. Like, you can use like kind of one spear early and like just casually, passively regen the mana you get. But other than that, you don't want to spear a lot unless you're going for kill attempts. And now I've got the lane pulled back, and now the PA gets very little CS for the next couple minutes. And so at this point, I do go the Soul Ring because I'm anticipating being out of mana. So you can see I'm really itemizing based on what's happening, right? I needed the salve, and then I wanted more armor, so I got the chainmail. And now I'm going back for the rest of this Soul Ring because I'm low on mana, and I want to be able to like spam more spells. And I'm like high HP, and I'm not really worried about getting brought down low anymore because I'm sitting at like 9 armor. Yeah, 9 armor. So really dynamically adjusting my items based on, you know, what's happening. It's actually a nice arrow. I didn't really think he was going to like do anything or hit it. But again, I unfortunately don't get the spear latch. I don't think we would have killed him anyways, but I didn't care too much about that because of this huge wave here. Like, I didn't want to chase that guy forever because then we were going to miss this wave. So fine to get the harass. P8 does have the Ring of Health now, so it's hard to get him low, but you can see my CS is very good now. You know, it's not crazy high, but it's good enough. And here this Rubik is just asking to die. Our Silencer rotated over, though, for some reason. I think because they were doing pretty well top. Oh, no, they're not doing well top. I don't really know what that rotation is about from Silencer, to be honest. And here, dragging these creeps is nice, and you can just... Here, it's like, be as efficient as possible, right? Drag it into the big camp, farm the big camp, and then I'm going to drag it into the front of my tower. So it's like the best possible outcome. I get a huge wave, I got a free big camp out of it, and this PA, you know, basically has to feel scared. If, like, he has to be afraid of, like, my heroes coming to rotate over. Like, he probably sees right now that they're not. But he's like, not in an advantageous situation, because, like, nobody's really come to help him. You can see this PA's farm is just not keeping up. I mean, he's like good, right? So he's like keeping up a little bit. Like, he's jungling the small camp right now. But you know, this is like not ideal for him to like not be able to like farm in the lane. PA doesn't like losing his lane, right? Like, this guy's level 5, not having a great time. Here my Dawnbreaker was paying me to go, which is why I do this, and then I kind of unfortunately mess it up. I get a really nice blink out though, so props to him. I just kind of screwed it up. I didn't... It was a good attempt. I should have executed a little bit better. And so in this phase of the game, I really just want to sit down here and chill, unless there's like a really good rotation opportunity with my arena. But I'm kind of happy to just play in the area, threaten the PA a little bit, and keep farming until I have like my next item. So this is just like casual harass. Like I'm not actually trying to kill him. I'm just making it more dangerous for him to be here. And I thought my team was gonna be like backing me up there, which is why I like stayed and like committed a little bit, and they just weren't. So that was just poor awareness by me. But that is the one time I died this game. I thought my silencer and my Marauder would just back me up there and some more damage. Like we could have killed the PA, even if I had ended up dying. But really important against Rubik, and specifically to always make sure you either use your rebuke right after your spear, or you can toggle your bulwark actually, and Rubik can steal bulwark. So I do that consistently this game, and obviously if there's no Rubik, it doesn't really matter. But against Rubik, it's really important to not let him steal spear, because spear is a really good item, or a really good spell to steal. And so here we're really strong. My other team like took over the jungle, so I was happy to like kind of tank for this catapult and pressure this tower. You can see he's like trying to steal spear, and it's, yeah, not gonna work. And this phase in the game, I think a lot of people overpressure, a lot of lower MMR people. Like, you're really ahead, like, what do you do, right? You know, we casually pressured mid, we did not force it. You know, my Dawn doesn't want to come. He's, like, even though he's got his ult up, he's low. Like, he's not joining anything, right? This is a carry Dawnbreaker. And so, you know, the rest of us, we don't force towers. What we do is we basically can kill anybody that we come across who's, like, out of position. So what we do is we play a huge area of the map, denying all of this to them, and they have to be very careful around their tower, lest we dive them. Yes, PA is farming somewhere, but like they're sharing 4 heroes farming like this. That is all the safe farm they get, and like maybe PA with Blur is like up here in the lane, but we are just out farming them on the map, and you can see in the CS and in the net worth, like it's okay to let their carry free farm if you're controlling like 80% of the map, or 70%. So here I luckily get out. The silencer kind of covers my retreat. But you can see that like a fight broke out, and because we're ahead, like we're just able to like take the fight. They can't really like contest us directly as long as we're like in generally the same area as like the 4 main heroes. Yeah, everybody except for a carry. So just doing a quick little jungle camp on my way back to base. Always use your mana. Like if I didn't have any mana, I wouldn't have done that camp because I had enough mana. It's easy to do the camp, being as efficient as possible. And we're gonna get a really early blink dagger timing here of 13 minutes. And here I walk out of base. Nothing's really happening. Like there's no way for me to immediately connect with my team. I could TP to a tower and like join in, but I don't have my arena yet anyways. And it would be nice if this lane got pushed out. So I'm gonna walk here. My TP's ready if I need it for mid. We already got their mid tower though, so like unless they're really trying to force it, like I wasn't anticipating a big fight happening, and like now they're taking a fight like under the enemy tier 2, and I'm like, okay, well I don't need to go to that. So I'm just using this opportunity to split the lane, and I was ready to TP if I needed to. But when my team is really positioned aggressively on the map, like it's not important to immediately connect with them if nothing's happening. Especially when you're like, my spell was on cooldown, right? So even though I had my blink, I didn't feel like I immediately needed to do something. And now my team's respawning, and I have my blink arena, so it's kind of a done deal that we're gonna clean up whoever we find. And so what do you do at this phase? Kind of similar to the first phase, but now we've taken the tower. What do you do here? You, as Dire specifically, you just kind of sweep back and forth and clean up any heroes you find and kind of dare them to fight you. And if they don't fight you, they're going to be farming like 30% of the map. And if they do fight you, then you're going to win, right? Because you're so ahead. right? Look at how we're positioned on the map. Our most mobile hero, Puck, is top. Like, he can TP back to be with us at any time. The rest of us are just aggressively positioned. They have to take, like, risky farm. They're always, like, at threat of dying. And meanwhile, we're, like, kind of freely farming on, like, 3 to 4 heroes at once. So you can see how this, like, pans out, right? They get caught up here. They get caught mid. Somebody's, like, barely farming anything bottom. I think they did have, like, a Quap up here, right? They're, like, desperately looking for farm. And we have, like, just the crazy kill potential to, like, just kill anybody who's alone. And so it's just about sweeping back and forth and picking up these kills as you accumulate gold and levels to then allow you to take the next objective. So I tell people when coaching, there's this period, it's, like, you know, kind of 10 to, like, 18 minutes where you're not strong enough to actually take a tier 2 or Roshan unless you have like an Ursa or something specifically. Okay, this is my Mirana Yules this guy, very unfortunately. Like, that was an easy blink spear to kill, and then he just Yules the guy, which like is okay, but like he didn't say he was gonna Yules him, so like I didn't know he was gonna do that. So a little unfortunate there, just a miss execution, but you can see I clean up a wave before I get out. Very important to do that if you can, especially in these high-level games, but in your games too. I mean, it's important for any level. Doing it in the high-level games, like if you don't do it, that's when you like lose map controls if you're not cutting waves. Your low MMR games, if you don't cut the one wave, like you're not gonna like lose a ton of map control off of it. But in high MMR games, you can. So what do we do when we're all up? We just run it back. Like, we're still ahead and we know it. Like we just like kind of messed up and dove. But when you're still strong, you still want to play aggressively. You just retake the map control you already had and proceed as normal. Don't let one mis-execution like stop your whole game plan or be like super afraid. So you can see we just kind of ran across the map at them. And we're getting to this phase now, post like 18-ish minutes, where we can look to pressure like the next objective. You know, the enemy's also getting more farm. They might also be a little more willing to fight, but you should be like getting some good item timings, and you should be able to keep being aggressive here. And, you know, if you have a bad Roche lineup, then you can look to, like, pressure towers or just keep looking for kills. Like, how soon this period ends where, like, you can't do, like, Roche or pressure the next objective, like, just depends on your lineup. If your lineup's really bad at, like, towers and Roche, like, you have, like, Slark carry, and, you know, like, a Puck mid or something, right? And, like, just nobody pressures towers that well, or Roche, then this phase where you're just like running around killing them like extends, right, until, you know, whatever heroes you have can like take those, and maybe you need a specific item like on a support or something like that. So and if, you know, like I said earlier, if you have like a hero like Ursa, that phase can get accelerated, right? If you're really ahead, you can just take the road super early and then start the next phase of the game super early. And if you have a really good like tower lineup pushing, like a Death Prophet, who's also good at Roshan, I guess, but like, you know, if you have the lineup to push the towers and not do the Roshan, like maybe DK, something like that, then you can look to pressure the tier 2 tower as soon as you feel ready to do that, even if you don't take the Roshan first. It kind of just all depends on the lineup and what you think you can get away with, you know. So cutting lots of waves, kind of daring them to fight us. You can see we're not too focused on objectives. We are diving a little bit, which didn't make sense to me. That's why I wasn't there to begin with. I wasn't really sure why we were like hard committing on a tower. Like, to me, on the lineups that are happening, I'm like, I don't want to like force anything, you know, around this area. Like, it didn't make sense to me. So happy to just keep farming, keep staying on the map. I went BKB after the blink. I think it's just a really good BKB game. Quap, Rubik, Pango, Snap, not much more to say about that. Just wanted to continue being able to be aggressive and be strong, and a BKB is what lets me do that. There's no other item that like allows me to like just jump in like a crazy person and like go on anybody I see than like BKB. And I do go back for the Deso here because we're really ahead. You could argue that I could have gone the Deso first, but I thought that was a little greedy, and these high MMR players, if you like don't give them enough respect, like they will like just like win this. They will win like some fight that they shouldn't win if you like don't have the BKB. So here it kind of pays off. You know, maybe the BKB didn't matter that much, but if they had executed a little bit better, that BKB could have been impactful. And it doesn't, you know, my Deso is still going to come out at a reasonable time, and I'm still going to hit really hard. I go for the Deso specifically because they have very burstable, killable heroes of the Rubik and Queen of Pain. And both of those heroes, if I like blink Spear Arena them and then use a God's Rebuke with Deso, they kind of just die. Snap is close, although she's a strength hero. Penguin's also kind of close. So they have a squishy lineup. If they didn't have a squishy lineup, I probably wouldn't go for the Deso. I might go for like AC or Halberd, something to directly deal with the PA. But I thought I could be a threat in the game. Like, I felt like I had a lot of farm. And I wanted to point out here, just like, even though we won the fight... What is this replay bug? Even though we won the fight and we're pressuring this tier 2 tower, my heroes are kind of like, my Moran and Puck are kind of backing off. We're like not hard pressuring this tower. They glyph, and as soon as they like kind of show heroes in the area that they're ready to contest, right? They still had 2 dead, and we backed out before they were like almost up, right? 12, 15, 10 seconds. That's when you should be backing up if you like know you don't want to take the engagement. And so we get the best of both worlds. We pressure as much as possible, force them all to walk mid. We've cut the side lanes. That's kind of what we're going to be doing, and we're going to have perfect map control for when they respawn. The only thing that I need is to find a lucky regen rune, and my Puck lets me take it. So, yeah, I was going to say the only problem is like I don't have a lot of health and mana, so I could have considered going back to base real quick there, but I found that regen. What you can do is you just TP base, reset, and then walk straight back out to your team. Like it takes like 15-20 seconds maybe, and it's worth the time to like get full health and resources. So I had bought that clarity, but that wasn't really going to be enough. But we found the regen, so it's okay. And what's important here is to just be grouped as a team, right? Or like, not grouped, but at this phase in the game, they're going to be looking for a play, something to get them back in the game. So what you don't want to do here when you don't have like the vision, right? We have pretty good map control. So they're either not farming or they're smoking, right? So don't split up in this scenario. And you can just tell this by the map, and this is why like certain smokes are like good or not good, right? Like they smoked, but it was a little obvious because like it was obvious they were doing something. It was either something or nothing, right? And if they were doing something and they were smoked, it was kind of obvious because all of our lanes were pushed in, which is just what good players can do when they're really ahead. And everybody on the team knows like how to do it. And so what they actually did was sneak the Roshan, which, you know, good on them. It keeps them in the game for sure. But that doesn't really stop like our plan. And we still are just so much stronger than they are that we can continue to like kind of pressure anyways. And continue like taking over the map and like what I like to call progressing the game. We've gotten the tier 2s. We had taken the tier 2 mid. We got the outpost. We took the tier 2 bottom. They have the Aegis, so it's not like we're going to go high ground against them necessarily unless like we win a fight outside of their base. But we can keep progressing the game in terms of like taking over like whatever parts of the map we want. And their Aegis really just prevents us from like... It basically prevents us from getting it. It doesn't really give them a good opportunity. I mean, it looks like they're smoked up here and they're going to use it. But yeah, unfortunately they're just like not quite strong enough to, make it work. Or maybe they misexecute, I don't know. I'm not going to like fully analyze it because obviously we're kind of stomping them at this point. So hopefully you can see, from offlane in 7.32, how you want to play. I feel like this isn't that different than how offlane's always played. I feel like Mars is a pretty straightforward hero to do this on. Granted, the hero's been nerfed a lot now, so it's like not quite as good as it used to be. But you can still do it on Mars. If you're like at a lower bracket, it's not going to be a big deal if you pick a hero that's like been nerfed a lot. Like as long as you play it well, so you can kind of play it like I did this game, you'll still have success, right? Pros still pick this hero. It's just the kit is so good. That you'll always have impact as long as you don't get dominated in lane. And so I'm going to cut it off here. We just proceed to kind of wipe it and clean it up. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.